Okay, I'm back. So as you can see, I toned all my blacks in with the Sharpie just to make this a lot easier for you guys to see, especially if you're using your paints. But you can definitely see I've gotten a lot of the darks in. I got a little bit in the hands here on the cloth, on the back end of the cloth tiles over here. Now, like, I see just real quickly, I see another little spot that's right in here. So I'm just gonna kind of hit that shape in. And that's right in there. It doesn't have to be exact. Just want to hit those darkest areas. Alright. Now I'm going to hit right in there. I see a nice little square, kind of funky shape. And then this comes down. Then I do a couple so you can see how loose I am when I do this. And it actually kind of goes up as I see it now. It's sheets, so it can have a little bit of a looseness. Take my bigger marker so I can fill in those gaps really quickly. Okay, put this right there. That looks good to me. Alright, now, again, I'm going to use this as my guide, so it's going to be there. You won't see it, but I will be able to. And I'm going to get out my paint, just like before. So my little tray comes right out, like so. Now last time we worked with one little brush that we thought would work. This time I'm going to probably be using a variety of brushes. Now pull out my brushes again and let you see. So when I'm looking for some of those details, I'm probably going to want to use, like, this brush is really good for fine points. This one for broad shoulder, like over the forehead area, and if I need something to square off. So those are my three brushes I'm thinking I'm going to be using this round. If need to, I'll grab the others. But for right now, I think that's what we're going to need. So I'm going to first start with my kind of broad brush. I'm not worrying about details right now. Take a little bit of my water, pour it right into my black. Try not to get it on my paper. Wet my brush. Now I'm going to absorb some black onto my brush. And at first it's going to be very light. It's going to work its magic. Get in there. There it goes. Now it's starting to get soft. And I'm just using room temperature water. Okay. So first, okay, looking at my picture, I see a lot of my shadows are over here. So I'm just going to start hitting up my shadowed area real fast and just be loose. I made a lot of marks with the Sharpie, so it's going to literally overlay right on top of that. Oops, I forgot one thing. Let me grab that too. I had my grayscale, I forgot. So, let me put that grayscale there so I can use that as I come through. And you can see straight black coming, it's giving me kind of a light gray at this moment. That's why I want to hit my gray areas first. And remember, you can go right over the black. It's not going to make that big of a deal. Gonna blend that pillowcase out a little bit. It's got a little streakiness, so I'm kind of filling in my gaps. A little bit there, like so. Now I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna hit these little tiny spots that I see where his face is laying against his pillow. Right off the edge of his nose there. And you can see how his face is starting to come forward. The inside of his hand, there's a little bit of gray in there, so I'm going to hit that. Back side of his hand here. And all I'm doing is I'm looking for tones. And you might see some tones that you missed when you were first starting transferring it all on. And if you did, that's okay. Just add it now. Like this whole area right here is very dark. So I'm going to hit that area up. I'm going to come in here and hit right along there. It's a little lighter gray at this moment. Now, let's get into the skin area over here. Once I get done with this little last little gray patch there. So I'm going to start in the darkest area. Get that little space there. Come over here, get in his ear, get that under the edge tone. And see how his ear's magically starting to get some shape. And it's these funky little shapes. They're not really big shapes, so to speak. So now I'm going to come up here. Okay, he's starting to get some value there very quickly because we set in all the information at the very beginning. So if you just traced out his eye, his face, his nose, and left all this blank, you would have missed all those little details. And that's what's so important right now, is getting all those little light tones and exaggerating those light tones. So I'm going to get underneath his eye here and see how that all of a sudden really starts to pop. I'm actually going to brush along that forehead right there. Starts to pop out a little more. Now I'm going to come in and get his lip. Now the top of a lip is always darker. And then underneath the lip is where the shadow is. So right there, so that's how the shadow is formed, is under the lip. Okay. I'm looking at his, I see a little bit of a shadow that's right there in the eyebrow. So I want to get that area. I want to get a little bit into the eyebrow. Actually, I'm going to bring that line. It doesn't come up like that, but it feels like it needs it in the drawing. is just a little bit more right underneath. Yeah, that looks nice. So I'm exaggerating that just a tiny bit, and I think it needs it. Remember, you're the artist. You can choose to change it if you need to. And don't be afraid to. If you look at it and go, that doesn't look quite the way I wanted it to, well, adjust it. So here I'm going to add a little bit more black right there because it feels like it needs there. Okay. It's going to dull down. I feel like it needs a little bit more black underneath the ear line. A little bit more right in there. Okay, it's starting to come out quite nice. And very quickly, too. So now I'm going to come in here and get this sheet that he's laying in. Well, right here's the light source, so I really want to bucket in the shadow around that. Now, if you do want to get those details, like those lines that were in the picture, feel free. You can use a ballpoint pen, I'll let you. And notice, I'm very loose in this kind of a drawing. To me, this is a tiny bit easier than when we were doing the gray line, because you don't have to be so precise. And it's coming together quite nice. Can you see that? No. Let's see, let me slide that up just a tiny bit. Sorry about that. Now, I'm going to hit around the edge of this. And this area is real dark up in here, so I want to really let my black kind of sit up and dissolve in that. Okay. I'm going to come in here now, get some of those lights in there for that pillow to make it kind of pop out. So I'm just taking straight water at this point and loosening it up. And that feels really nice. It's really starting to get that shape down. Now over here is a nice rich black. So I'm not really going to hit that too much right now. I'm gonna probably hit that with my marker right in there because I think that will make it stand out. That's the edge of the bed frame. So let me hit in here. That's white. And a little bit of gray there. Down in here is the edge of that blanket. Now, get in here, get that shadow that's laying right in there. I'm going to make a part 2 on this.